Hello, hello, walk stars. Welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well. My name is Danielle Desir. I am the founder of Women of Color Podcasters. And today we are going to be meeting the founder of the Creatress Summit, a good friend of mine, Saidah Murphy. So over the last 2 years, we've been an avid supporter of the Creatress Summit, and I wanted you to hear from the founder all about what you can expect at the Creatress Summit this year, and maybe put it even on your radar if you haven't heard about it yet, and also tips for hosting your own virtual summit. So as I'm waiting for Saidah to come in, I see her here. I'm gonna ping her here, but I just wanted to share with you a couple of reminders. Number one, we are very active on Instagram. We've been hosting a weekly IG live series where we are profiling members of our community. So that's been very exciting. If you head over to our IG stories, you can see the 3 other community members that we profiled. So you could tune into those replays or join us live on Saturdays at 4 p.m. We're also active on Clubhouse. So we have now an official club, WC Podcasters Club, and we're hosting various rooms throughout the month. The next room happening June 1st at 7 p.m. and it's going to be specifically for newbies. So there's tons of opportunities for you to connect with us on Instagram, off Instagram, and of course we have our community membership as well. So let's get Saidah in here and let's go. Saidah Murphy. Again, if you're new, we're talking to Saidah Murphy, the founder of Creatress Summit, to learn all about her summit. Hey, beautiful.
Hi, how are you?
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to connect with you. I know it's been a little while. We usually do like Clubhouse rooms together. So I'm
I know.
happy
I
to see
haven't
you.
been on Clubhouse. I took a break from Clubhouse because it was just so many like make $1 million in 5 days rooms. And I'm like,
Yes.
that's not how this works. So
Exactly.
I took a break. So I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm going to come back to the Clubhouse streets yet. I haven't decided.
And you were heavy on Clubhouse too.
Yeah.
Like, you were very heavy.
Yeah.
I only go to Clubhouse when I'm invited or when my coordinator's like, come, we need you here. So that's the time I'm there. So
I feel
excited. Well, thank you, Saidah, so much for coming. I wanted to introduce you to the community and also to share more about what the Creatress Summit is about, what can folks expect, where to cop their tickets, so all the things. So let's just first start with what inspired you to start the Creatress Summit and what is it?
So, okay. I'll try and condense the story because it's like a super long story. But so the summit started out as a birthday event for the company. So when we hit 1 year old, I was like, I want to do something that kind of like celebrates us hitting our 1 year mark, but also gives value to my audience. So I did a 1-day summit. I had 3 amazing speakers, and we just like, it was free, it was streamed on Facebook, and it was just like this 1-day virtual summit, and they gave all this great value, which was wonderful. And then I was like, okay, let's keep this going. I'm loving this virtual summit thing. And this was before, let me tell you guys, like I was on the virtual summit tip before like everybody started doing virtual summits. So I was like, let's keep this going. Let's do this annually. And so as I started thinking about how I can make this into like a conference, because my goal is to do an in-person conference. So cross your fingers, guys, that 2022 we can have a Creatress Summit in person. But I was like, let's see how we can do this. Like, let me create kind of like a marketing podcast, media production conference that highlights women of color, because I'm a conference junkie. I go to all type of conferences, and then in the line of work, I work in marketing. So you have to go to a lot of conferences to know like industry standards and everything like that. And all the conferences I went to, there was no one that looked like me who was up on the stage. Like it was white guys and white women and maybe one black guy, maybe one Indian guy, and that's about it. So when I was working with a company who was having their own conference, and then I was like, okay, well, why aren't we highlighting some other people. Why can't we see these other people represented? The story that I was told was that, oh, there are just not enough experts who are women of color, who are Black women in these fields to like give them this platform and this space to share their expertise. They're not enough, or they're not well known enough. And I'm like, you just
Wrong
like
answer. Wrong
you
answer.
just
Wrong
like
answer.
lit that fire right there. So I was like, let me prove you wrong. So year 2, when we did the Creatress Summit, it went from a 1-day conference to a 5-day conference. And I went from 3 speakers to 35 speakers, because I was like, there are plenty of women of color, because I'm interacting with them, I'm working with them, I'm collaborating with them every single day. So what started out as a birthday event and a way to give value turned into kind of like, I'm going to show you that we're here, and I'm going to create this space for us and give us a platform that nobody else is willing to give us, because if they don't want to build the table, I'm going to build it myself. So that's kind of the mission of the Creatress Summit, is to give women of color who are in the media industry a space to share their expertise. So I'm excited because this year we had 37 speakers, and they are like amazing. When I tell you, like, top notch, I cannot wait for you guys to hear them.
So that is an amazing story, and I can totally relate, because I have been in multiple positions where they're saying that not enough speakers are applying, there's not enough experts. And even I would get rejected from speaking opportunities when I do try. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to create my own thing. So as a result, now we're in our 3rd year of creating Pathon. So again, I love in your story that because of the circumstances and because of what you saw, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to wait for other people to create this for me. I'm going to go ahead and create this with my connections. And it seems that every year it's been growing and growing and growing. So what can folks expect at the Creatress Summit, and also when is it?
So the summit this year is June 7th through 11th. We are just above a week away. Like, I'm like, this.
I can't believe it.
I know, we're here already.
Wow.
So June 7th through 11th. And what you can expect, 5 days. Each day is themed. So we have a self-development day, a podcasting day, a marketing day, a film day, and we have a community building and networking day. So each one of those days have sessions under those specific topics. So you can expect to go to amazing sessions. These women have put in their all to these sessions. Because I like to share behind the scenes. So what I do when I prep for the summit, I have all the speakers submit their presentations months in advance, and I review every single one. So when I'm like advocating for the quality of these sessions, it's not just me like blowing smoke and trying to get you to come to the summit. I actually have listened to each one of these presentations, and I know the value that they're going to bring. So it's amazing. This year we have a virtual expo hall. So we'll have a space where you can check out some small businesses, some of the speakers' businesses, our sponsors' businesses. You can check out how to connect with them and support them. We'll have some evening events. I haven't put them all together, and I don't want to give too much away, but we'll have some evening events, some talks about sisterhood and about being a community of women. We'll have some parties, we'll have some fun, we'll have some networking opportunities, and just, it's a week of collaborating, of learning, of expanding our skill sets, but also joining together and meeting new people and learning how to just build a community and build our network.
Exactly. So what are some of the sessions that you're like, this session is amazing, you have to pay attention to this one?
Okay. If any of my speakers are watching, I love all of your sessions. If I don't mention you, this
disclaimer,
does not mean I don't love your session.
Yes.
I'm super excited. We have a session on stop motion animation. And I'm super excited because it's not just like, hey, here's how to do stop motion. It's also how to create short stop motion videos to kind of promote your brand. So I'm super excited for that one. We have sessions on finding your voice when you're doing your podcasting and how to find your audience and find the right voice for your podcast. We have self-care retreat, a mini virtual retreat for entrepreneurs to teach you how to like really focus on your self-care. We have networking sessions that are teaching you how to network virtually because we're still kind of sort of in a pandemic. So we have sessions that will teach you how to network virtually. What else? There's so many. There are marketing sessions. There's so many sessions. I can't give the full list, but those are some that are the highlights for sure.
I love it. I love it. And the other question that I had for you was, why do you think that virtual is worth investing in? I get like a lot of questions from people who are saying, well, virtuals are not like, they kind of are tired of the Zoom calls and things
Yeah.
like that. And for me, why I love virtual conferences is because it offers you an ability to just focus on new ideas, new strategies, and in a very condensed time frame. And also because you can do it from anywhere in the world, in your PJs. You can do it in the beach, at a vacation home. So I'm a big advocate of virtual, and also the barrier to entry is a lot less because you don't have to get a hotel, you don't have to get airfare, you don't have to get transportation. So I'm all for virtual events. So would love to hear your thoughts on why did you choose virtual as your medium, and why is it so beneficial to attend a virtual event like this?
Yeah, so I have an event planning background, and for those of us who are actual event planners knows that it takes so much to put on an in-person event. I love in-person events, and I love the connections that you get to make, which is why one of these days Creatress Summit will definitely be in person as well as virtual. But I love virtual events just for the reasons that you said. It gives you an opportunity to just be comfortable. For those of us who are introverts, we don't have to have the pressure of sitting in a room with a bunch of people who we don't want to interact with or being forced into networking opportunities. We can get the value and we can be comfortable. But also, I know people are zoomed out. I'm zoomed out. I know like that's a big thing, especially as summertime, the sun is coming out. People do not want to be sitting in front of a computer. But this year for the Creatress Summit, I've really tried to create an experience that feels like a real conference. So last year, the sessions became available and you can watch whatever session you wanted, and those sessions were available all day. So you can go through automatically and say, oh, I want to watch this one, pick play. So it's really at your own, on your own leisure. This year, everything is like simulated like a live event. So there are times like if you want to see this specific session that's in this specific time block, you have to show up and sit in front of the computer and watch that session because that's when it's going to be playing, and you won't be able to see the replays until after the event. So I really tried to create an experience that although we're virtual, although we're all over the world, we're in our own individual spaces, I'm really trying to create a space where we can all be in one space at one time, learning together, chatting together. There's chat ability so you guys can chat and learn together, to really simulate like we're in person and we're learning together and we're building this community together.
I love it. I love it. So if you're new here, I see a bunch of new faces. Hello, everybody. I'm going to reset this over here as my husband just is walking in the kitchen over there. But welcome. We are chatting with Saidah Murphy, the founder of the Creatress Summit. Every year we have Saidah in some form or capacity come in and share with us what we can expect at the summit. And why I love your summit so much is because it is specifically highlighting the expertise of women of color, and also it's designed for women of color as well. So I really do love and I really do appreciate that. And honestly, there are not enough conferences that are highlighting us, highlighting our skill sets. So the more we can have, I think it's amazing. So I would love to also talk about the evolution of event organizing, because I know every year we come up with new things to make the event better, and we also take away things, or we learn things. So can you just share a sneak peek in terms of what have you learned over the last 3 years of hosting this summit, and what would you give advice to people who are like, I want to host a summit, I'm really nervous, what should they know?
So the biggest thing that I've learned over these last 3 years is the value of charging what you're worth. So virtual summits take a lot of time and effort. If you're on my Instagram, you'll see me. I've been promoting sporadically for like the last few months, but like all you're gonna see now for the next 2 weeks is Creatress Summit, and people are gonna think like, oh, she's just putting the summit together in 2 weeks and she's just talking about it. I've been planning this summit for almost 8 months now, so it takes a lot of work, and I know like a lot of us, especially who are just starting out or who are very giving, we want to give our audience the opportunity to get all this value for free or get it for a low cost. But I want people who are especially just starting out, set the precedent that your work and your time and your effort is worth people investing in, and people will take it more seriously if they invest in it. So don't be afraid to charge for your virtual summit. Even if there are tons of virtual summits out there, people are doing free webinars here and there, it's okay. Don't be afraid to charge for your virtual summit. And then also what I've learned is that you don't have to do everything. You don't have to have your event exactly like somebody else's. You don't have to use the exact same platform that somebody else did just because like you like how their event worked. Find the technology that works for you. Find the technology that is easy for you to navigate, because when you're doing event planning, anything and everything can and will go wrong. So you need to be prepared and comfortable with the software that you're using. For me, I'm like a real software techie head, so I'm trying new things. Last year, we used Kajabi as our platform for the summit. This year we're using a platform called Brushfire, and I've taken the time to learn that, but that's because I learned tech real fast. Everybody doesn't have a tech brain like that, so use the tech that you're comfortable with and be comfortable. It's going to be what it's going to be. It does not have to be perfect. People are going to show up and support it if your name is behind it. So just put your effort in, put it out there, and celebrate it when it's over. I can't wait until this is over. I'm just gonna like relax and celebrate and just marvel in all of it.
And I thought you really highlighted some amazing things. So if anyone's in the audience who's watching this live or the replay, if you have any questions about hosting a virtual summit, guess what? You have two organizers right here. So drop in the comments if you have any specific questions. But what I truly loved about what you said is that, charging is so big and so important. And, it's about investing in yourself and investing in your learning, and also that commitment factor.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you drop money on attending an event, you're not going to fiddle around and be like, oh, I'll catch the replay. Yeah, because honestly, when you're there live, you're like, I'm going to be here for the next 5 days, the next 2 days, or whatever the case may be. You can truly focus on that and clear your calendar. And that there's quality too, because a lot of times also as organizers, we really do want to pay our speakers, but where's the money coming from if we don't have sponsors, which is a whole nother conversation. Sponsorship is very difficult.
Live, okay?
It's another live. That's like a private live. We can't.
That's a whole live, because like this year I have a sponsorship coordinator, and we've been working for months to get sponsors, and
it's hard.
It's hard work. Okay.
It's hard work, especially as women of color. I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna get so many like doors shut in your face, and you're just like, what's going on here? Now that we don't have the budget.
It's funny too, because it's like not just doors shutting. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, we believe in this. We want to support this. We just can't do it. Like
every year, I've been doing this for 3 years. Every year, yes. But, I'm at the point personally when I know myself enough where I can get a little discouraged by the no's, but then keep pushing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of times we get discouraged by hearing no's, especially from the brands we love and we promote without even any affiliation.
Yeah.
And it's just about moving past those hurdles and keeping the momentum going. So, and also another thing you mentioned is like you hired a coordinator. So has your team expanded over the years? Because I know for me, it was just like me and my knuckles just grinding it out. So I'd love to hear more about your expansion.
Just so far for the event, I just had the sponsorship coordinator, and we have a really good deal worked out in terms of like compensation and everything. I won't get into too many details because that's her private information, but even if you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of revenue from sponsorships or from tickets, because ticket sales are, and I'll be completely transparent. We're pushing forward with the summit, but ticket sales are really low because one, it's still in the middle. We're still in the middle of a pandemic. People are all virtual out and everything like that. So we're still pushing through who we have. Like, I'm a big advocate for showing up for who's there. We're going to have the best event for the people who took their time and paid their money. But where was I going with that?
Hiring.
Yes. Thank you. There are ways to collaborate and to bring people on your team, even if you don't have that big money or that big budget. Me and my sponsorship coordinator, we worked out a really good deal where we're working collaboratively, and I don't have to like have a big budget for her salary. And she's willing to work with me because she believes in the mission of the conference. She believes in the mission of the business. So finding those people who are willing to be in the dirt with you, who are willing to grind it up and say, hey, we're going to make everything work for this year, and then we're going to go after big dollars for next year. We're just going to keep on growing and growing. Those are the people who are going to help your event and your business grow. So make sure you find those connections and those collaborations with those people who you can say, hey, let's barter here and there. Let's work together because we both see this vision and we can take it to the next level.
Exactly. And I see a couple people in the comments, Miss Girl Like Me and The Flow Up said that they're going to grab their tickets. You can head over to our link in our bio to grab tickets to the Creatress Summit happening June 7th to 11th. Again, over 37 speakers we could expect this year, which is super incredible and super inspiring. And guess what? When you do see those speaker notifications, like when the applications open, pitch yourself to be a speaker on stage, okay? Pitch yourself. Your ideas are valuable and absolutely worth it. Now, we had a question from the Hyphenated Nation. Hello. What's been your best self-investment or business investment so far?
You froze on my end. So can you say what you just said?
No problem. No problem. So the Hyphenated Nation said, what's been your best self-investment or business investment so far?
Oh, that's a good question. I invest in a lot of tech for the business. So a lot of platforms that are going to help me run the business smoother. Like I have a calendar service, I have Asana, I have all these little things. They're little things that add up monthly and everything like that. Canva, I pay for like Canva Pro and everything like that. And those collectively are the biggest investment because they kind of streamline everything I do for the business. So far that's been the biggest investment. I am going to invest very soon in some more tech. I have like a camera, I have like a ring light and everything like that, but I'm going to get bigger lighting and bigger cameras and stuff. So that'll be my next wave of investment. But taking those small investments, like getting something like a Hootsuite or Planly to do your content, investing in, you said investing in mentors. I am in a coaching program right now that I invested in. So doing that and taking those small investments definitely add up to the bigger wins.
Yeah, and I'm going to just share my biggest investment. So one of the things that I really wanted to lean into this year was to make the podcast its own part of my personal brand business. And there's many different ways that you can do that. You can do courses, you can do this and that. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I want to lean in. I want to crack the code of sponsorships. So I was trying on my own, but I wasn't getting the traction I wanted. So I actually hired a podcast monetization coach, and I didn't even know they existed, but my coach is phenomenal. And it was quite an investment. But again, an investment has a return, right? I'm following everything she tells me to do. And in the course of the last 3 weeks, I've made more progress in my podcast business than I ever have before. So again, investing in not only tools, mentorships, conferences, these are all investments in yourself that you'll be able to cash out in the future. Absolutely. So I love all of that. I love all of that. Now, if you have any other questions, guys, drop it in the chat for Saidah. This has been a phenomenal conversation. Again, every year I really do I really love supporting you and what you're doing. And
Thank
you know what,
you.
Saidah, you weren't expecting this, but I'm going to give away 2 tickets so we can figure out a way to make that happen. But I'll give away 2 tickets either to WC Podcasters community or your community, and we'll get some more people in that seat. So there's actually
Love it.
there's a couple more questions that came in.
Okay,
So
perfect.
let's see if we could just run through them. So another question was, what do you look for in a business coach? Since we both have business coaches, that's a
Yeah,
great question.
that's a really good question. Because this coach that I'm working with now is the second coach that I've worked with. I worked with a coach before and it just didn't work out. So there are relationships. It's like finding a doctor or a therapist. There are relationships that don't work out. For me, it's really important that I work with a coach that believes in my vision and that doesn't want to put me in a box to fit into their program or fit into the ways that they do things, but they want to help me do what I do better. Because we're all in business, we all have expertise. I'm coming to a coach with, I have 10 years of experience in my industry. I have 3 or 4 years experience in business for myself. So I'm coming to you. I already have experience. I don't need you to fit me into this box. I need you to take what I know and take what I'm doing and figure out what I'm missing and push me in the direction to take it to the next level. So that's what I look for in a coach. And I also look for a person who has similar values and similar beliefs as me. I'm a Christian, so I look for people who are also believers so that I know that if I need to say, hey, I'm thinking about giving up, like, I don't know, like, this is not what God has in my plan. And they can be like, look, here's some Bible verses, here's some sermons, somebody who can keep me focused on my path. I look for that. And then I also always look for someone who looks like me. All the business coaches I've worked with are people who look like me because I want to support other Black women and they don't get you like anyone else is going to get you. So I want to make sure that we're on the same page in that way as well.
That synergy is so important, you know, and in both sides, because not only do I run the community, I have a membership, I have coaching clients, but also I hire coaches. So coaches hire coaches.
Yep.
That is part of the learning process. Coaches hire coaches. And that synergy is so important, like you mentioned, Saidah. For me personally, when I'm looking for a coach, I'm looking for someone who has the results that I want. They have paved the way for themselves to get results. And I am also looking for someone who can, like you said, take me from point A to point B with what we already have, the foundations that I've already built, and just make it better. I'm looking for someone who, I was listening to a podcast episode yesterday, and they said something so profound. It's like business is a game of inches. It's literally the small tweaks that you make in your business or in your podcast or whatever that can lead to the most monumentous results. It's not usually the big things. It's the small little pivots, the small little tweaks. So I'm looking for someone who's able to fine tune and finesse what I'm doing. So I love that. The Hyphenate Nation podcast, you had phenomenal questions.
Yes.
So thank you for highlighting that. Saidah, this was truly amazing. Like I said, I will give away 2 tickets to our collective community at large. We'll figure out a way to make that happen. But for those who maybe hopped in late, can you just again share more about the Creatress Summit, how to get tickets, link in our bio, and anything else you want to share?
Sure. So the Creatress Summit happens June 7th through 11th. It's 100% virtual. Tickets are $49 for 5 days. That's it, just $49. So it's a small investment, but it's a major investment because the speakers that we have lined up and the information that we have ready to share is trust me, it's worth way more than $49. So go ahead and get your pass. The link is in you guys' bio and WOC Podcasters bio. So get your link there. And if you have any questions, feel free. My account is open at Saidah Murphy. You guys can connect with me. Feel free to DM me. My DMs are always open. Ask any question you want. And I want to see you at the summit. I hope to see you there.
Absolutely. I want to see you there. And it's a great way to support your fellow WC podcasters and learn at the same time. So all amazing and great things. Saidah, again, thank you so much for your time today. I cannot wait to hear about your success and how amazing all the things happen for the summit. Just wanted to quickly share a couple of just quick tidbits and announcements just for those who are here live with us. So number one, we are hosting maybe Saidah, you will want to join me for this. I know you restarted your podcast, but every Saturday we host a live series where we are highlighting community members. So if you are a community member and you want to be highlighted and you want to be able to reach our audience of like thousands, this is a perfect opportunity. Hop on live. We'll just chit chat just like this. That's every Saturday at 4 p.m. We're also active on Clubhouse. We are hosting various rooms on Clubhouse. So follow our Club WC Podcasters. And lastly, grab your ticket to the Creatress Summit happening June 7th to the 18th by Saidah Murphy. Connect with her, follow her, and let her know that WC Podcaster sent you. All right?
Yes.
All right,
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great one. Thank you, Saidah. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.